This story begins with a small newspaper clipping my father carefully preserved in a homemade scrapbook he started back in the late 1920s. These clippings hold such fascinating stories, each a piece of history waiting to be shared. Join me as we dive into this captivating tale. Imagine a time when the world was on the brink of flight's golden age, when daring pilots, visionary engineers, and ambitious nations competed to master the skies. It was the early 1930s, a decade brimming with possibilities and dreams of connecting people, cultures, and continents through the skies. Italy, proud and determined, saw the potential of aviation not just as a means of travel, but as an art form, a testament to its ingenuity and spirit. At the heart of their fleet was a magnificent flying boat, the Savoia-Marchetti S.66, which sailed the skies as gracefully as it glided across the water. This wasn't just an aircraft, it was a symbol of Italy's engineering prowess, a luxurious floating bridge across the Mediterranean, and a bold step toward connecting distant lands. Today, we'll journey back to those days when the S-66 ruled the air and sea, and Italy's bold ambitions in aviation inspired nations. So, sit back, and let's dive into the fascinating world of the Savoia-Marchetti S-66. The design and vision behind the Savoia-Marchetti S-66. To understand the S-66, we have to look at the man behind its design, Alessandro Marchetti. Marchetti was one of Italy's most skilled aviation engineers, and the S-66 was his vision brought to life. Building on the success of the S-55, Marchetti designed the S-66 as an evolution, a larger, more powerful, and more luxurious craft with twin hulls and a streamlined design. Each hull was crafted to carry both passengers and cargo, giving it a unique look and enhanced stability over water. It was as if two sleek speedboats were fused beneath the wings of a powerful aircraft, a design that made it both strikingly beautiful and functionally unique. The S-66 featured an enclosed cockpit suspended between its twin hulls, where the crew of two would sit, controlling the craft from a commanding position that offered clear views of both sea and sky. Behind them, nestled in each hull, were lavish interiors. Initially, these spaces included sleeping couches and lavatories, which soon gave way to increased seating as demand grew. Up to 22 passengers could embark on flights over the Mediterranean, experiencing a level of comfort and style few could have imagined in those days. Imagine stepping into the S-66 for the first time, surrounded by polished wood, plush seats, and expansive windows that let passengers gaze out at the vast expanse of the Mediterranean below. The sound of the engines above might hum like a steady heartbeat, assuring those on board that this floating marvel was designed to conquer the skies. The power and performance of the S-66. Unlike other flying boats of its time, the S-66 was a triple-engine powerhouse. Its three Fiat A24R engines generated a combined 2,250 horsepower, mounted high above the wings to protect them from sea spray on takeoff and landing. This unique arrangement not only enhanced the aircraft's stability and resilience, but also gave it the ability to travel longer distances and carry more weight than many of its contemporaries. Pilots reported a sense of confidence flying the S-66, knowing it had been designed to handle both the calm seas and the often unpredictable conditions over the Mediterranean. As Alla Littoria's flagship, the S-66 became the workhorse of Italy's national airline. It flew regular routes across the Mediterranean, connecting Rome to distant territories and neighboring nations. The S-66 was a symbol of Italy's ambition to establish itself as a key player in global aviation, operating as a bridge between Italy's colonies in Africa and its cultural ties to Europe. This strategic placement of routes wasn't just about commerce, it was about asserting Italy's influence over the skies. General Italo Balbo's influence in the age of Italian aviation. The story of the S-66 wouldn't be complete without mentioning General Italo Balbo, Italy's air minister and one of the most famous aviators of his day. Balbo was known not only for his flying skills, but for his larger-than-life personality and vision. He saw aviation as a tool for diplomacy, believing that Italy could shape its global image through grand aerial displays. His vision and charisma led to the creation of air armadas, where he organized long-distance formation flights to showcase Italian engineering and discipline. While the S-66 wasn't part of Balbo's most famous 1933 transatlantic flight to Chicago, it was this aircraft that had already established Italian flying boats as reliable over long distances. The transatlantic mission featured a fleet of Savoia-Marchetti S.65s and paved the way for transoceanic travel, achieving something few had even dared to attempt. These massive formations of Italian planes, crossing the Atlantic together in harmony, amazed the world and proved Italy's capabilities on the global stage. Balbo's daring flights were as much a diplomatic tool as they were a feat of engineering. By leading dozens of aircraft across the Atlantic, he demonstrated that Italy was a leader in aviation innovation. As the squadron landed in Chicago, crowds cheered, and Italy was celebrated for its achievement. The S-66, while not part of this flight, had inspired and empowered Balbo's bold ambitions, showcasing the endurance and capability of Italian flying boats. I came across a fascinating archival video of General Italo Balbo, available under a Creative Commons license from the Netherlands Institute for Sound and Vision, and I'm excited to share it with you. The video's description reads, "Arrival of General Balbo, weekly news from Polygoon Hollands Nieuws, week 27 of 1933. It captures the arrival of Italian General Italo Balbo and his squadron of seaplanes in the port of Schellingwoude during a world tour. The footage includes scenes of civil and military authorities arriving, 11 seconds, seaplanes in flight, landing, and one that crashed during landing, total 72 seconds, along with views of seaplanes moored in line, 7 seconds. The video concludes with Balbo and his team going ashore, a welcoming ceremony, and a celebratory toast, 27 seconds. Enjoy watching this incredible historical moment."
The Idini flipped over when landing on the water and is now drifting helplessly, while the sister planes are descending nearby. A frightening moment. Here come the lifeboats, manned by students from the Maritime School, to help. Thanks to their decisive action, 4 crew members were rescued. A unique aerial shot taken just minutes after the disaster. The medical service boat takes the injured on board.
Operational history and challenges faced. Though majestic and innovative, the S-66's service was not without hardship. Several incidents marked its operational history. In one incident in 1935, an S-66 crashed while attempting a night landing near Malta. Though most of the passengers survived, It underscored the challenges of operating in uncertain weather conditions and the perils that all aviators faced during that era. Another aircraft, I-80, faced engine trouble over the Mediterranean and was safely ditched, thanks to the skill of its crew. These accidents, while tragic, underscored the risks that came with pushing the boundaries of flight. Perhaps the most mysterious accident occurred in 1938, when an S-66 entered an uncontrolled descent over the Tyrrhenian Sea, with no distress signal or known cause. All 20 passengers and crew were lost, a haunting reminder of the dangers early aviators encountered and the limits of technology in those pioneering days. Yet, despite these setbacks, the S-166 maintained its place as a cornerstone of Ala Littoria's fleet, a testament to Italian resilience and ambition. Legacy and the S-66's place in aviation history. While it may no longer grace the skies or seas, the Savoia-Marchetti S.66 holds an important place in the history of aviation. It was a daring project that reflected Italy's desire to lead, to create, and to connect. Its twin-hull design, triple-engine setup, and luxurious interiors make it a memorable icon of the golden age of flying boats. Though the S-66 never achieved transatlantic flight, it symbolized the stepping stones Italy took in pursuit of that dream. The S-66's legacy lives on in the spirit of exploration and progress that defined those early years of flight. It represents an era when the boundaries of aviation were expanding at a dizzying pace, and each new journey was a bold statement of human ingenuity. For Italy, the S-66 was not just a technological marvel. It was a piece of national pride, a reminder of the potential of Italian innovation. Today, the Savoia-Marchetti S.66 may only live on in memories and records, but its story continues to inspire. Its elegant lines, its daring missions, and the risks taken by those who flew it all remind us that every era of progress begins with those willing to push beyond the ordinary. The S.66 symbolizes a unique chapter in aviation history, one where flying boats were kings of both sky and sea, and the skies were a canvas for daring pilots and engineers alike. If you've enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join me for more aviation adventures. Let's keep the spirit of these pioneering machines alive, inspiring all of us to imagine what lies beyond the horizon.